yard on the other side of that building there, of this kind of Tivoli annex, as they say, and that's where you'll see the entrance for Links Connect. You also see kind of the courtyard that comes off of like I Pizza inside the main Tivoli too. So come and see us. We're always here Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. You can schedule appointments. You can drop on in to get a question answered or a resume looked at, anything of that nature. Again, these 4 offices are combined in Links Connect because this whole idea is to be able to capitalize on your career development or on gaining skills, gaining qualifications, figuring out direction through many different avenues. Right? All of these offices support you in developing outside the classroom. So really cool thing, awesome place, beautiful location. Come in and say hi anytime that you need. Again, you can drop in or you can always schedule appointments too. All right, let's get into some of this fun content. And so one thing that I was thinking about, but now that I've kind of trimmed my time down a little bit, don't think we'll do this activity per se. And so what I really want to do here is, we won't do a high five, but what I want to do is I kind of want to just talk a little bit about what are some fears? What are some concerns? How do you manage these fears or concerns? And what are you thinking, like, dude, this is a 2000 level class, like career is like another 2 years, maybe 3 years out, whatever it might be for you, and you're like, not a chance to think about that right now? Well, let's do that. Let's think. I'm curious about how you all feel about some of these things, how you feel about what the future after college holds for you all. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like a scary thought because it's like I paid all this money to be here for 4 years. And then it's like, am I not going to get a job afterwards?
Totally. The whole reason we come, the whole reason we invest so much emotion, time, money. Oh God, we want to make sure that we find something that's meaningful. Because yeah, I could just find a job that made me money, but come on, that's not really what a career can mean for us. So that's a very valid concern. How are you managing that? How are you addressing that fear?
I mean, just talking to my advisor, really, and kind of just looking to see like what options are out there for what I want to do.
Yeah, well done. That's awesome. Yeah, come and speak with us as well. We're happy to answer some of those questions too.
Okay.
Good, great. Yeah.
I think being involved in certain aspects that pertain to your major too, like during college, really help. Like building your resume, like before you get out, that helps a lot.
Absolutely, yeah, I would totally agree with you. That's a wonderful way to be able to manage some of this concern, to be able to get that end goal after college, which is like a meaningful career that feels like it's engaging and expressing for you. And that's where, you know, we do say, like within Links Connect, whatever it is, internships, research, study abroad, on-campus jobs, off-campus jobs, any of this stuff is super helpful for developing your resume, figuring out and testing out ideas, and all of that. Yeah, it's perfect.
Could you repeat the questions so that we
Oh,
can get on
of
the
course, yes. So, what are some other concerns or questions, fears about life after graduation? Yeah.
Also, like, you know, trying to pick that one major, and even if you pick it later on, you might not be satisfied with it, and then it's just a big mess.
You're right, you're like, oh my God, I went so far down in this major, now I'm like, oh, I'm hot committed, like I gotta stick with it, I'm almost done, but God, do I really hate this major, what do I do with it? So how to kind of figure that out and how to navigate that as well. No, wonderful questions, and I think this is honestly where all of us feel, right? Because I think of it this way, where it's the future. Nobody can really predict the future and whether or not certain choices of majors, certain choices of careers, any of our choices work out in our favor. So how do we address that concern of, man, I may not feel like this is the right major, even though I'm a couple semesters, couple years into it. Or even two, what if you find yourself in a career and you're like, this is what I shot for. You're into it, you're like, oh my God, this is not what I want to do anymore. What do I do now? That's wonderful. And honestly, these are all things that I'm going to talk about today, and all things that can help just feel a little bit more comfortable about it, and how the Career Center and Links Connect overall can support you guys through these things. Okay. So one of the things that really to me is a way to address a lot of these questions about, hey, how do I evaluate if it's the right major or direction? How do I evaluate if this career really feels right for me, even though I may have gone a little far into it, is to really think of it like this. Break the passion mindset. We kind of got fed a lie a little bit, you all. The idea that you find a job and it's your expression of passion and you do what you love and you never work a day in your life. Yeah, like let's be frank here, right? A career should be engaging, it should be meaningful, it should express who you are. But there's no such thing, in my opinion, as a passion that is just the perfect job. right? Even if you think about these individuals that we see in media all the time that are, Elon Musk or Bill Gates or, any of these individuals that seem like they got the best life or the best job. There are days that are work, that it's struggling, it's emotional, it's challenging, it's frustrating, and that's okay. That is life, that is a part of it. So we gotta break this mindset that you just gotta find a job that connects to your passions. Because I used to have a colleague all the time that he would say, I'm passionate about waffles. And it's not a joke. We threw a waffle party for this dude when he left CU Denver because he loved waffles so much. But does that mean that he should go work at Waffle House? He should go be a chef? He should go invent a new waffle iron? No, not necessarily. Like, our passions don't always need to be career directions. I love video games, I love snowboarding, but I don't want to program a game, and I sure as heck didn't want to design a snowboard or even teach lessons for that matter. I've tried that before. It's not fun. So break that passion mindset and know it's a lot more than just finding something you're passionate about. And that careers are not found. We don't just kind of walk up and say, ooh, I found this career under the job. Ooh, I found this job under a job board. Or, ooh, this just fell into my lap. We have to cultivate these things. We have to think of this as a garden, as a metaphor, and saying that we plant seeds and we test out ideas. And some ideas work and some ideas fail. But we learn from those failures. Failure is one of the greatest teachers in all of our world. And so we have to learn from those things and understand that it does take time, it does take a little bit of intention in trying things out, and that these things don't just fall in your lap. A career or a major or knowing what direction to get into. And again, that's okay, because it's the future. We never really know. We just got to test out ideas. You get to choose this direction, right? For a lot of us, at times, it feels like, our parents were almost maybe funneled into certain things were just about survival. They needed a job to support the family, so they didn't really get to do things that were meaningful for them. And so knowing that, hey, we are honored and privileged to be able to have that ability to navigate what do we want to do? How do we want to apply our skills and our knowledge and make a difference in the world? What are the problems that we want to apply ourselves to? In that it's engaging and meaningful. Because again, we've changed our language in the Career Center. It's again not finding a career you love, it's not finding a passion, it's about cultivating engagement. Being engaged in your career, wanting to do more, wanting to learn more, wanting to do something different within that kind of realm or industry. And last but not least, it's a little bit that I hit on already, is that it's the future. Nobody knows what's going to be right for us, what's going to be perfect for us, or what's going to be a great expression of who we are. So get comfortable and understand that, yeah, it's going to feel weird, it's going to feel lost, you're going to feel confused. That's okay. Even for myself, as an assistant director, working here for well over 7 years, there are moments where I'm just like, I don't know, what's the next thing for me? What do I want to try out next? I feel really engaged and really excited about what I do, but I also want to find a new challenge too. So I wonder what that could look like. And that's okay to know that you are challenging where you are and you're wanting to make a difference because something doesn't feel as satisfying as it could. That's okay. That's life, right? So feeling lost is all right. We all feel that way. If you ever have these colleagues or these peers, these friends of yours, you're like, oh yeah, like I'm studying nursing and I'm so excited about it because I know exactly what I'm going to do. Or I'm studying business and it's super cool because I'm going to go do information systems. Yeah, sure. But if you really dig at the core, they are freaking out just like all of us. And that's okay, right? Because we don't know if it's really going to work out. So how do we address these fears? How do we address these concerns? Well, really it's about thinking about college like this, where we're not looking for one of these things, right? We're not looking for careers we're interested in and careers where only our personality relate to, or only our values relate to, or only our skills relate to. We're trying to find a comfortable balance in the middle where all of these things are expressed, where your personality is leveraged, where your skills are applied, where your interests help to keep you engaged and wanting to learn more. So even too, the biggest one of all of these circles in my opinion is values. Because if your values aren't expressed, if the things you want out of life, the things you want out of a career aren't being met, you're not going to feel satisfied. So again, I think of myself in this way where, yeah, totally interested in video games, definitely a gamer, love it to death. Personality is I like tech and I like fantasy, I like figuring things out, I love problem solving, I love games that give me challenges that I have to rise to and figure out. Feel skilled in the ability for like manual dexterity, certainly not skilled in programming. I took a shot at that and that didn't work out well for me. So knowing that, even though like my interest is there, my personality is there, my skills may not be, it doesn't really fit for me. It's not something that I should do. Right? Very similarly, I thought about being a mental health counselor. I was for a while. But there were things about that environment that were challenging for me. And that's okay. It wasn't the fact that I got my degree in philosophy and psychology, got a master's in counseling, I started to be a mental health worker, and then, oh my God, this isn't working, I need to change, and then my life falls apart. No, it's about finding that middle theme and then saying, how can I express that differently? So my theme is about supporting individuals, helping others reach their potential, allowing my community to feel warm, happy, and engaged. I thought that mental health counseling can be an expression of that, but I learned through experience that, you know what, it's not exactly the best fit. Like I've said, I've been in career development for well over 6 years. Obviously, I found something that really feels more like me and fits. And that was a big one where my interest, personality, and skill all relate to the world of counseling. However, the type of counseling changed because of what I wanted my life to be like. It can be very challenging in the dark world of mental health when you're working with people through very significant challenges in the world. So it's not about a single career title. It's about a theme. My theme is, how can I help people? Now, this is that cultivation moment. How do you cultivate your theme? How do you take things like your skills, your knowledge, your personality, your interests, your values, and bring this all together to be able to say, what are the multiple different positions that can express that theme? Because, you know, I could do career development in workforce centers and private practice as like a counselor. I could do it in private business within like employee development. But, you know, I choose higher education because it's meaningful to me and my values. And that's what gives us some of that control if we feel like, man, this major and I'm a little too deep, or this career and I'm a little too deep, what do I do now if I don't feel satisfied? Awesome. We back up and we say, what is it about those things that you liked? What is it about those things you disliked? Now, how do we make a new choice that aligns with that theme? This was a research study that I came across a few years ago that was really, really fascinating, because I think we all hear this messaging that to find a job you're happy in, it's really about your passions and it's about things that are meaningful to you and not working that day in your life because of these passions. Well, really, this researcher found that there are 5 different components that can build into career satisfaction or career happiness. First one is autonomy. Who wants to be micromanaged? Who wants to be told what to do? Who wants to say, you're doing this job, this task at this time? Ugh, right? That's what feels like a part-time survival job. So autonomy is the ability to manage your day the way that you dictate and need to accomplish the goals set in front of you. Mastery. You gotta be good at what you're doing, right? For me, yeah, I took a shot at playing the guitar, sucked at it, so obviously I didn't pick it up. Took a shot at programming, sucked at it, obviously didn't pick it up. So we have to be good. Our skills need to be in line with it. But also purpose. It's gotta be meaningful to you and your purpose. Now, purpose doesn't have to just be, I want to change the world through education, or I want to provide mental health services. Purpose can also be, I want to revolutionize the smartphone. Because good God, Apple, you are just killing me with all of these renditions of the iPhone that are really not that special to me. And also, why do we just get 2 choices of Samsung or Apple? There's others out there, I know, but come on. Most of us have one of those 2 devices. So purpose needs to be how you define purpose. What is it for you? And it is okay if your purpose isn't something that's altruistic and philosophically meaningful. That's fine, because it's about you and what you want out of your life. Connection. You need to feel connected to the people around you, the culture that you're a part of, the team that you're a part of. If you don't feel connected with them and have relationships with them, isolation is created. And who wants to feel isolated, alone, or not like they want to engage with their fellow colleagues? Last one, compensation. Yes, this is a part of satisfaction, absolutely. If we're not able to pay our bills, we're not able to do the things that we want to do, we're not able to maybe put aside some money for like college or other things or purchasing a home, we're not going to be satisfied, right? We always used to talk about this in my counseling program where, you know, I want to serve the poor, I don't want to be the poor. So knowing that compensation is absolutely a part of satisfaction. So knowing about these things for yourself and planning what does that look like for you. All right, so as you can tell, it's not just about interest. It's not just about passion. There's a lot of other stuff that goes into it. So again, how do we potentially evaluate these things? Think of it as this cycle. And this is not a cycle you'll just go through in college and life will fall into place. This is a cycle that you will go through many, many, many times in your life, in your career, and even in your major. And that's fine. This is how we can test ideas. This is how we can feel more in control. This is how we can evaluate where is it that we want to go and what's more meaningful for us. So we got to start with a little exploration. All right? So we need to research things. What does a communication degree relate to in terms of careers? What are the skills that I develop in that type of major? What's the knowledge I gain in that major? And how can that relate to certain career titles? Now let's research those career titles. What do those really mean? Is that something I want to do? Do they offer the compensation I want? Are these even jobs that are going to be available when I graduate? Right? So the Career Center offers these resources called career briefs, which are really helpful because if you're ever considering any major, we can give you various career titles that connect to that major as just that research point, as just learning about it, right? Because the world of work is so big. There are so many titles that are out there, and it's even more and more titles that are coming up. I just worked with a student that is going to apply to a master's program in medical physics. I didn't know that was a thing. It was super cool once I researched it. Fascinating, but I didn't even know that existed, and I'm a career development professional. Crazy. So knowing we gotta explore, we gotta do some research. But once we do that research, and we gain some of this knowledge, well, we gotta make some action on it. We gotta do something with it. And so that action is to test out these ideas in many, many different ways, right? We can take classes. We can talk to professionals. We could take on jobs. We could go to groups and clubs. We could volunteer in the community. We could even do work study jobs, right? Any level of testing an idea, experimenting with a potential approach. Because, right, you want to make an informed decision. We can't just shoot from the hip and say, hey, I'm going to go do that. That's what I want to do. Without any logic or any research or any testing of that idea. And so knowing that any level of experience, groups, clubs, jobs, internships, volunteering, study abroad, majors, classes, professionals, faculty, research, everything can help us test out ideas. And then last, we got to evaluate it. Hey, awesome, I took this experimental approach. I tested this potential idea that I have. What does this tell me? Where do I go from here? And I think, again, this is what allows us to give us the most amount of control when we think about the future. Because again, we can't predict it. We don't know if it's going to all fall into place. But we test out ideas so that we can make more informed decisions. Okay? I kind of use a little bit of a joke with this one. I've kind of thought about it, which I think is kind of funny. Maybe you guys will get a chuckle out of it. None of us have engaged in a relationship, whether it be, platonic and friendship or it be romantic. We never engaged in that relationship and like, man, I can't wait for this person to treat me like garbage, to walk all over me, to talk crap about me, to just be arrogant and rude to me. I can't wait for them to treat me like garbage. Sweet. No, none of us engaged in relationships like that. It wasn't until we got those texts or saw those tweets or went out to dinner with them and we realized, wow, you're just mean. And I don't want you in my life, right? We took a shot at something, we experimented with it, we learned to say that's not what I'm looking for. Kind of a funny example, little playful, absolutely, but the principle's still the same when it comes to careers. We got to try things out so that we can then learn from it, right? I wanted to help people, so I got a degree in psychology and philosophy. I experimented in working in mental health, and I evaluated to say, you know what, maybe that's not the best environment for me and my own satisfaction. So what do I got to do? I got to research and explore again and say, hey, what is it that I didn't like? Oh, it was the type of work I was doing with people. So maybe I should look into career development because that's a little bit closer to the type of work that I want to do that still represents my theme in the middle. And now I go into this evaluation to say, yeah, this has been really meaningful. I very much enjoyed it. What's that next challenge? So even as I stand here today, I'm in this phase of this cycle right now. And like I've said, over the past 6 or 7 years, I've gone through this thing about 3 times. And that's what helps us make more informed decisions. So we're taking on careers that are meaningful and expressive of us. And it's not just a shot in the dark, and we don't feel like, oh my God, I'm in this major that sucks now, and I'm already committed to it, or oh man, I'm working this job for 2 years, and I really hate it, my life fell apart, and I don't know what to do next. No, we make a pivot. We just change it a little bit. That's all. And so again, it's that responsibility for development of it. We gotta cultivate this capital. We gotta cultivate these experiences and these things so that that research moment can really come through and help. Okay. I threw a lot of information at you. I want to kind of back it up a little bit and do something with you all that can relate to one of these circles. And so, let's see what this would have started at 11. So you guys go to 12:15. Nice, perfect. So, with this activity, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show two different values. It's not to say that one value is better than the other. It's not to say that one value means more than the other. They're not even necessarily opposing values per se. Some of them kind of get close to it, right? But it is something to help us pick what are our values and what is something that's more important than the other. So what I'll do is I'll show two different values. And then I want you all to think about, I don't want you to get up and look at this all tight. I want you to think about which value is more important to you and why, okay? And then, just so you all know, I will ask for why that's a value of yours, why you chose that particular one over the other. So you all are aware, you're all primed now. I will be asking for that feedback. If I don't get it, we'll start calling on people. It's gonna be super awkward, trust me, all right? Again, we are gonna do this in a very polite and respectful manner. We're not here to combat or to prove or to diminish others. We're not to dominate a conversation and say, mine is the best. We're simply here to have dialogue so we can hear from each other and what motivates other people. So, when thinking about a career, would you rather have structure, which would really be defined as working in an environment that provides clear guidelines, clear objectives, clear expectations? You got a beautiful little manual that tells you all these things you got to do. Or would you rather have a career that gives you creativity? The ability to create new concepts, new products, new services, new ideas, and challenge kind of the status quo, so to speak, and establish new things. Right. So take a moment, kind of think to yourself, which one feels most like you? Which one is more important to you? Both of these could be important to you, but one's more important for sure. So thinking about which one is more important or a stronger value of yours. Right, so I'll help get the conversation moving. For myself, I would much rather have creativity. Because I'm the type of person that if you tell me exactly what to do and you give me clear objectives and guidelines, I want to puke. I don't like it. I want to do things my way and ways that are meaningful to me. So I want something that's creative because also I want to challenge new ideas. Right? Just because this is how career development was done 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever, these are all the theories and research that say, doesn't mean that it still applies today. And I want to challenge that and I want to do new, fun things. That's why I value structure more so, or excuse me, creativity more so than structure. So, who else would like to share? Please.
Can you combine the two, or do we have to pick one?
I'm going to force you to pick one. I do think, yes, when we think about it in a very dynamic sense, you can combine these and find these within multiple positions, but I want to kind of just show how one could potentially be more important. So yeah, I'm going to force you to pick one. Yeah, please.
I would choose creativity.
How come?
Because I know structural and more safe. It's a great boundaries.
Yeah.
But now I think I would be for the creativity, but people will change it. For now, I can have new ideas. Because I like art. I do some artwork.
Nice.
So creation film is very important.
Absolutely.
And also, you want to have the structure like supposed to sound. It will be a kind of fixed model.
Yeah.
It will not, in other words, that's why creation is so rare in our society.
Absolutely.
So I think that is important. It can be felt, but maybe success will be a sense of achievement.
Yeah. Personal identity to it too. Yeah.
So, but I know in the future maybe
Yeah.
just school was a lot.
It's hard to say, right? They're not necessarily opposing each other, and you definitely combine these things, both of these things in careers. But I love how you express this. Structure, you're just doing it always that way, and I'm not able to kind of add my fingerprint or my identity or my creative aspect to it, as well as art is something that's expressive and meaningful for you, so you want that ability to approach many things, not just, drawing and painting and expressive arts, but really being creative in the whole sense of the word in every way you apply it. Beautiful, thank you. Who else? How about for our structure side? Who's a little bit more on our structure side of this argument? Cool, please.
I prefer structure, just considering my future and I guess like my career or workplace, wherever that's going to be, just to know what is expected of me, expected of my peers, and just like understanding our common goal and what everyone's part is, and that how to achieve that efficiently.
Right.
Whereas I value creativity just in my personal life, but in my work life, I would prefer structure.
Right. Structure is super helpful because I know that team member is taking care of that part of the project, so I don't need to worry about it. Here's the deadline to it, so I know when it's going to happen. Right. Creates a sense of clarity, so we know where we are in the work that we do. And also, too, there's a lot of studies that show a lot of people struggle when they first get into work. They're like beginning of their position, simply because they don't know their expectations. They don't know what's expected of them, how to integrate into the system, and how to kind of navigate it as well. So structure can be very, very important in making sure you do feel satisfied or do feel accomplished. Right? Because that's the other piece to it as well. If we don't feel like we're doing anything or we're making a difference or it connects to us, right? We're just doing a job, right? I think all of us have ever worked those just general part-time jobs. It's like, cool, like I'm delivering pizzas. It was one of the best jobs I've ever had, but also like just delivering pizzas. Right? So wonderful, right? Both equally important, both individually important for you all. And again, just evaluating what it means for you. Because again, these careers should be expressions of you. Thanks, thank you. So the next one that I have, we have honesty. So having a job where I'm encouraged to openly communicate with my coworkers, and I can, with all honesty, share my opinion in various aspects about the job that needs improvement. Or are we looking a little bit more on the diversity side? So having a position that values diversity, working in a setting that includes individuals of diverse religions, racial, and social backgrounds. Ooh. So, gather your thoughts about this one. How does it feel for you?
This one's hard.
This one's tough, yeah, for sure. This one's actually I've heard some really, really cool dialogue off of these two. Yes, sir.
For me, I would say diversity, because with working with diverse people that are different from you, like you get different ideas and beliefs and ideologies that like, brings forth new ideas that can like contribute to like what you guys are working towards. Because that's what I've noticed, like when I studied abroad, like having those diverse views and like being exposed to different ideas like really like showed me that there's like different routes for like to get to the end result.
Absolutely. The diverse perspectives create richer meaning, create richer production. Also, that's why I love these types of dialogues, because as we're already seeing, everybody's got different opinions that really enrich a point or a topic that we're on. And I think that's absolutely a wonderful way to think of it. Thank you. Yeah. Who's a little bit more on the honesty side of things? Yes, thank you.
I think honesty would be important for me, because if you can have that open dialogue with your peers or your coworkers, how are you going to communicate to the job done?
Right.
And so being honest with each other will help you progress to get to where you need to be as a common goal.
Yeah. Honesty allows production, allows things to move forward, and also to be honest with people will allow you to challenge what they're doing so that it can be better. Right? If we don't feel like we can be honest and it's just like, oh, hey, is this a wonderful idea that we're doing for the marketing campaign? And you're like, no, it's not, but I'm not going to say anything because I don't think it's going to work out well. It doesn't help the company. It doesn't help that particular project, right? So the honesty can produce that as well. Something that I find really fascinating in a rich conversation I had with some high school students actually about this one was I had a high school student say, well, you can't really value diversity if you don't have honesty. Because if you can't be honest with each other and hear those perspectives and share those perspectives, then diversity is just stagnated. It's like, wow, dang, that's pretty true, right? I would agree with that in many different ways. Both of them are important, both of them have value, but it's thinking about which one for you is going to be a bit more of that driving factor. are going to be a bit more relatable to satisfaction in a career. Sure. All right, so our next one we're going to take a look at. Ooh, let's get charged up here, right? Some real serious issues. So let's think about family. Are you looking for a career that ensures the type of work I do and the hours that I have fit within my family responsibilities, right? So I don't want to work after hours, I don't want to be on call, I don't want to work weekends, I want an environment that allows me to provide for my family and still have work-life balance as a family. Or is it a little bit more about having religious freedom? So having a position that allows us to respect or agree with or having a position that respects my choices of religion, allowance for time for important religious holidays, and expression of that culture or belief. Again, let's gather our thoughts, think a little bit about how it feels for you all. Cool. So who wants to jump us off of this one? Who wants to start with whichever one you choose? Yeah, go for it.
For me personally, it would be family because my family is like all I have and like all I know.
Yeah.
So I think a work that allows me to be like, you know what, my mom just called and she needs help, and it's like,
Boom.
okay, you can go.
Let's do that. Yeah. Oh, man. Emergency happened. Anything
Yeah.
happened. Go take care of it. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Yes, I totally agree with you. I have a working position that allows me these types of things as well, and I will tell you this: it is priceless. I got friends that work in tech. Oof. Man, all hours of the day, they on call. They're getting hit up on the weekends. It's crazy. I would not want that type of world. Okay. However, who falls a little bit more into that religious freedom piece? Being able to really express themselves and their beliefs in work in a position that values that. Please, yeah.
I'm not saying that I choose religious
Cool.
freedom, but I'm just saying if they give you time off for religion holidays,
Yeah.
that's also like kind of having to do with family because you connect with family
Well done.
for that off day.
Yeah, well done. That's a great way to think about it, right? And we're not saying one's better than the other. I choose this one. It's just saying this is how I'm thinking about it. And that is the essence of this whole activity. One's not better than the other. You don't have to choose one and exclude the other. It's really saying, how do I think about these principles and integrate them into where I want to go and what I want to do. Thank you. Made my job super easy. All right. Here we go. Okay. So we'll do one more, and I'll move on to another section. This is always a super fun one, I find. So are we looking for positions that are a little bit more oriented to helping society? So having a job that allows me to help others or contribute to the betterment of the world? Or are you looking for a position that's a little bit more of the high income side? Having an income that provides me with plenty of discretionary funds, having influence in that way through monetary influence. Please.
I think the high income is more important because if we have enough money and we have the good influence of other people who can help the society.
Absolutely, yes, I would absolutely agree with you. Again, we did this activity with a bunch of high school students, and there was a bunch of them that said, you know what, helping income, or excuse me, high income is more important because when I have those funds, then I can contribute those to nonprofits and scholarships and education and can support my community through philanthropy and donation. Absolutely, that does help society, but also too, that allows you the comforts that you're looking for in life. Perfect, yeah. Please.
I would say more towards the help society because if, let's say, I don't have the opportunity to like get a high income, or it's gonna take like years and years,
Yeah.
help society would be my only option. So I would volunteer
Yeah.
and work with people that have that high income.
Exactly.
So
You may not reach that income potential to be able to influence scholarships and donate to nonprofits. So maybe what I got to do is just volunteer my time and be more engaged in my community in person to help society in the way that is obtainable for me. Absolutely, right? Both are super valuable, but now it's again allowing us to challenge our ideas and say, what are we really looking for in our careers? And we do a whole activity in the Career Center that's called the Values Card Cert. So if you ever want to go through and kind of evaluate, we have like 40 different values on these cards and help you to kind of organize and prioritize and think through them. Totally, let me know. Because the value circle, and I showed you those 4 circles of personality, interest, skills, and value, values is such an important circle. It's very much a make or break circle. Okay, last one we had was challenge or humor, or versus fun or humor. Won't get into that because I want to do something else in the last kind of 15 minutes that I have with you all. And so with this one, it's just a true or false. So we're going to just blurt out our answers, right? I'm going to present something to you, and it's going to be say, hey, true or false to this. And I want you all to just blurt it out, okay? No need to like raise hands, no need to be formal about this. Let's just throw it out there. So, picking a major and a career are exactly the same. It's the same thing. True or false?
False.
False. Yeah, absolutely, guys. You totally hit that one on the head. Many different majors can relate to many different directions, right? Communication is a wonderful degree for that exact reason. You can find it in business, you can find it in helping, you can find it in teaching, you can find it in media studies, you can find it in everywhere because it is communication. It's what we do. We communicate with each other in many different ways. Phenomenal. Choosing one major means I give up all the others. Oh, all these other interests that I have are gone because I got this one major. Yeah, absolutely. It is absolutely false because having a minor, having a double major, having these other things still influence who you are and how you do it, right? Yes, I got a degree in psychology. I minored in philosophy because philosophy is super cool to me. I wanted to learn more about it, but that's the fun thing. My philosophy background influences how I'm a counselor. I have a colleague that comes from a graphic design background. The way that he approaches career counseling is different because of that flavor, because of that change, that difference. So knowing that selecting one major does not mean you are selecting one aspect of your life and that's it. You are so dynamic and so unique that all of these things relate to it. And now we're just going to say, how do we express it? The best way to find out about majors is just to take courses. Yeah, for sure. This one always kind of trips a lot of us up. I think we hear very commonly that we should just take classes to try to figure out our major, but if y'all are paying attention to tuition bills, that's super expensive. And that's also really painful if you got to write this awful paper or take this awful exam and then to find out that you don't really like that major at all. So yeah, the idea is that we can talk with academic advisors, we can talk with faculty, you can talk with the Career Center, you can talk with so many different people to help evaluate what is a better direction or major beyond just shooting at the hip and taking classes. I should just get my core classes out of the way. Yeah, for sure. I think this is a wonderful way to be able to test and challenge certain ideas so that if we've reached a certain point of exploration and we're getting into an intentional moment of experimentation, then yeah, let's take some of those major specific classes to see how cool they are, to see how it relates to bigger things. Okay, this next one, I want you all to just blurt out what are different career titles that match this particular, no, let me rephrase that. What are majors that connect to this particular career title, okay? So I'm going to show you a career title, parole officer. What majors do you think would relate to this? Totally, yeah, criminal justice, absolutely. I'm sorry, psychology? Criminology, yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Psychology.
Psychology would, absolutely.
Communications.
Communications, for sure. Sociology would, for sure. Right? Dang. Ethnic studies. Wow, I didn't really think about that one before. International studies. Right? We had a lot of these other ones as well, but also political science. For sure. I would even say something like anthropology could be immensely helpful too. To understand like where people come from and the culture and history that develops into where we are today could be immensely helpful for a parole officer. For sure. Graphic designer.
Photography.
Photography.
Any art major.
Any art major, yeah, absolutely. BFAs, Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Communications.
Communication. Right, this one feels a little bit more challenging because it's like a very technical thing, so I should probably know the technical aspects of this. So yeah, fine arts falls into it, graphic design is a big one there, multimedia, which really now we're starting to see all of these College of Arts and Media types. Media or computer science would relate to it as well. Communication, film studies, boom, boom, boom. Also many more, right? So we're starting to see, right, from a couple of these that it's not this direct linear thing, right? Just because I got this major doesn't mean I can only do these jobs. And also knowing that when we're looking for jobs, it's a combination of things. Employers want two things. They want to know you have the knowledge, and they want to know you got the skills. So if you find yourself in like a particular major that doesn't necessarily relate as directly as others to careers, cool, that means we're going to do a lot of awesome, relevant experience, sweet internships, sweet jobs, sweet volunteering, sweet groups and clubs, because those things will then help to hone that major to say, this is why that major is relevant, these are all the other skills that I have also. Biomedical engineer. Oof. So there's got to be one, right? There's only one that would work for this. Engineering, biology, biomed, the sciences for sure. This is definitely one of those that's like an advanced degree to be able to do this type of work, so you got to get a master's. So quite frankly, any degree could really relate you to that as long as you got the prereqs to get into it. That's what's so fascinating when they think about like, oh, I want to be a doctor, so that means I have to get a biology degree. You know what's really fascinating is studies have shown that people who actually have a philosophy degree have higher acceptance rates to medical school than biology degrees. Because all you got to do is take the prereqs to get into med school. You can have any degree that's out there. It's pretty fascinating. Same thing with nursing. As long as you got the prereqs, you could go into nursing school. The reason a lot of people choose biology is because those prereqs are in that program. That's about it. Pharmacist.
Chemistry.
Biology, chemistry, pharmacology for sure. Right? I'd even say like psychology could jump into this too, because we're really looking at like neurology and the function of the brain in relation to chemicals. So again, so many different options. And really this whole idea is again to show you that it's far more diverse and unique and dynamic than simply, I got a psych degree, I am a mental health counselor. I got a communication degree, I do marketing. There's so many things. All right, small business owner, I think we're going to see the kind of the same avenue here with a lot of these. So now again, this test and retest idea that when you can do some experimentation through different jobs or internships, it can really help to hone that direction, can help to hone where you're potentially going so that more informed decisions are made and we don't find ourselves in a metaphorical relationship that we hate. So, deepen your understanding. Come and see us in the Career Center. Come and see us inside Links Connect, right? You can, again, schedule appointments or you can always drop in for some of this stuff too. You can, you'll find kind of, this is like our front desk when you get into Links Connect. You'll walk into the space and you'll see these beautiful wood bleachers and just come on up and say hi. So again, even too, if you're ever wanting to go through any of our assessments, any of our card sorts, those are all different tools that we utilize to help you all figure out all of these questions. Personality, interests, skills, values, what are different ideas I can test out and how can I test them through many different things like study abroad or research, part-time jobs, internships, groups and clubs, all of that stuff. Very similarly, if you're looking for any kind of job boards or support with cover letters, resumes, social media, right? If you're wanting to brand yourself in that way, or if you're looking at LinkedIn and you're like, cool, people say I gotta have LinkedIn, but I don't know what to do with it and I don't know how it functions. Sweet, come and see us. All right? The bottom line that I tell everybody at the end of all my presentations or work with them is that it's okay to not know. It's life, it's the future, that's fine. Come and see us. We're here to help you, but we don't know what's going on for you unless you tell us. So come and speak with us. Come and let us know what's on your mind. Let us know these fears. Let us know these challenges. Let us know what you're excited about. And we would love to sit down and chat with you and try to figure out, cool, what's our next steps? What do we got to do to find something that's meaningful, impactful, and is an expression of you and the way you want to impact your community. Questions, concerns, anything on y'all's mind? Yeah. What was it, training?